Good evening, ma'am. Ma'am, I have a problem with my camera. When I do my Zoom, I'm not able to turn on my camera. And ma'am, my name is Shivansh. I'm logging with an user.
All right. Okay. I think we can begin and we will let people join as and when they will now after you because I mean we can't wait any longer. Uh,
That's about.
okay. So we're all here for the orientation of Indian Debating League scheduled to start from 17th October onwards as in the qualifier rounds. And as for the orientation, I'll be covering a couple of relevant things. Everybody should make notes if they think they are forgetful and might not remember everything. And otherwise, even if you can just like capture everything that I tell you, it's going to help you along the way. So the Indian Debating League is just basically the IPL of debating, right? Wherein so if you think of Indian Debating League, the first factor and criteria that you should consider is that this brings the various states and the representatives of various representatives rather of various states together to discuss certain pertinent issues in the form of debate motions. So that's one upside to this, which means if you go to some other tournaments, you're likely to not fare well for various reasons. But one of the reasons that people ascribe to themselves not doing well is because they think they don't know everything under the sun. And and for you to be a debater, you need to have some amount of knowledge. While that might be true for certain formats, Indian Debating League makes the process more like it's easier for you because you don't have to have a lot of knowledge about things that you probably are not immediately connected with. So because your states are just parts of the country that you are very closely linked to because you have been staying there, because you know the food, the culture, the language, the trends, the problems and concerns. I think it's easier for you to debate on those types of motions which directly immediately link to your country, to your state, to your locality, which means any motion that you are given in this particular tournament, you will be able to find a relevance of the same motion in the place that you are living in, as long as you are living in India, and most of us are, right, who are participating in the debate. So that's how IPL helps you, but also that's how IPL becomes more accessible to young individuals who want to start their journey as debaters. You don't necessarily have to be like some erudite and very learned person in order to be able to debate. This is your place to come and learn. Now, what are some features of Indian Debating League then, and how are we going to proceed with the various rounds in the Indian Debating League? I think most of you already know about this because it's up on the Ogri website, everything in terms of what the theme is going to be with for various rounds, how many rounds there are, so on and so forth. But to make things very clear from our side, there's going to be 36 in total, teams in total. And this adds, I mean, this is including the 28 states that we have and the 8 union territories, which means every state will have one team that represents that particular state. So by the time so through the qualifiers, we will select state teams, and then after that, these teams will compete amongst each other in order to make it to the semifinals. And in the semifinals, after the semifinals, which are whoever goes through will be the finalists, and the finalists will fight it out amongst themselves in order to emerge as the winner of this year's Indian Debating League version. Right. So that's the format of things and the tournament. And here's hoping all of us do well. So, on the idea of what Ogly is, what we have done so far, what practices we promote. So, first of all, Ogly has been linked and to a lot of various other like opportunities creation platforms, such as if you participate in IDL, ISDS has declared that like your participation in Indian Debating League is your gateway to also participate in the national team selection, which ISDS holds annually for the World School Championship that happens and for which we send an Indian team. So if you want to like get through the ISDS selections, if you don't know who like the people with who you can form a team to go for the ISDS selections, then you can just like participate in IDL, and through that we will help you through the process if you fare well. Which means this is not just a tournament that you can win and add to your CV, but also one from where you will get many other opportunities and bigger opportunities, might I add, uh, to explore your debating career. So that's about the perks of Ideal, basically. But also, we have associated ourselves with various other international tournaments. As you can see on the screen, we've been to NSD, a National Speech and Debating Competition, which the American Debating Circuit holds, and then there's Harvard Invitational, for which you will also get a wildcard entry if you do well at Ideal, as in this year's Harvard Invitational, and then a lot of other debates. Like for example, recently we went for Doxbridge, and after Doxbridge we went for Paris World Schools Championship. So that's it. That is those are the kind of formats we follow, and that at the level at which we encourage our people associated with us to debate. But everything kept aside, and now that I've explained to you how Ideal helps you and how Ideal doesn't expect much from you as a participant, even if you're a beginner, allow me to talk about the theme for Ideal. And the theme remains the same for all age groups and for people from like every class. Doesn't really matter, school, class, all of those categorization does not matter as far as the theme is concerned. So the theme is going to be the same, which is Resurgent India, a superpower in the making, amalgamating our culture, society, and economy. Now it has a lot of words in it. I think I can dissect it for you a little bit, just so nobody is lost on what the theme is and what the theme means. Now, first of all, on the idea of what is a theme in a debate tournament, the theme is the overarching topic through which all the other debate topics will be set. Do you understand? So if I've already given you a theme, which is Resurgent India, I will not give you topics on Russia-Ukraine war anymore until unless it links to India, which means everything we do in this particular tournament is with reference to India, because our theme is India and how we can make it better. So in order to make India better, we have to discuss India from multiple dimensions: true, culture, economy, politics, but also we have to not just talk about the various possibilities and what India has to offer, but also maybe some problems that India might be going through and how we can solve them, right? So there are various aspects to debating. Problem solving is one. So maybe we want to be problem solvers for a country like India, where there's a lot of problems. But another way of looking at it and the type of motions that you will get within this theme are the kind where we say that, okay, how about one child policy for India? Should that work? Will that not work? If that doesn't work, what kind of policy do we want? So another way is thinking of it in terms of what policies we can have in India, right? So one side says that we should have this policy, the other side says that no, we shouldn't have this policy. And then there are ways of going ahead and debating about India from multiple dimensions. You will know when you see the motions. But the thing is that the theme remains India, which means the overarching principle, topic, something that we cannot go beyond as a debating debating tournament is India. We have to make India our consideration, and it can be in terms of my state, it can be in terms of some other state, it can be an interstate conflict, it can be an intrastate conflict. We could be discussing India holistically as a country, or India as like where a place where a lot of other states come together. You could think of it in whichever way possible, but at the end of the day, it's India and not beyond that. So even if you want to talk about some other country, for example, if I want to talk about Ukraine, I will only talk about Ukraine if it has any relevance to India. For example, I want to talk about India and I want to compare India to some other country. That is fair, because then you're still focusing on India and you're just using Ukraine as an example to compare India with, which is okay. But otherwise, our concern is India and not Ukraine, because the theme is India and not Ukraine. Do you understand? Okay, I think this is the time when I'll take any questions if there are any, because I've covered a couple of slides. So if there are any questions so far, I'm happy to take them. Raise your hands, but don't unmute yourself. Okay, it says Pramod's iPhone, so I'm not quite sure if this is your name, but anyway.
Namaste, ma'am. Namaste, ma'am.
Yes, we're waiting for you. Please ask your question.
Wait a minute, ma'am.
You're not audible actually. That's That might be a problem.
Ma'am, can you
So
hear me
if you're
now?
not audible, maybe try fixing your audio or just put your question in the chat. Either way works.
Ma'am, can you hear me now?
No, not audible. Not audible. Dhruv, I'll take your question meanwhile. Dhruv?
Yes, ma'am. My question was, you said 36 teams. So
Okay, this might be a problem with my device because I can't hear anybody. Give me 1 second. I'm going to try to fix this.
Yeah, go ahead, Dhruv. I will.
my question was that ma'am said there are 36 teams. So in the speech part, when we say the speech to the opponent and the opponent says his speech and then we reply to his speech, how are we going to do that with 36 teams? Are we going to have to reply in each one of them?
No, in the round one, you will first competing with a student from your state. So the round one is a qualifiers, which means that you will have only one versus one match. The format for which you will cover the 36 teams means that each and every state or the union territory will have their own team. If you're coming from Delhi, then after the qualifiers, the round one, you will become part of the state one or the state two. Oh, sorry, your particular state. So round one, you have to focus to be part of your own state team.
Okay. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, okay. So Dhan, please go ahead.
Yes, sir. So my doubt is that, sir, since I go to school in Rajasthan, even though
Sure.
I am in a boarding school, but I actually live in Gurgaon. So what state team would I be in if I pass the state?
Have you registered?
Yes, sir.
So then whatever state you have picked, look, in your case, you can pick any one of them. But as you have already registered, so the state that you have picked will be your state.
Okay, sir.
With that, let me go with Tanvi Khoshla. Tanvi, you can unmute yourself.
Thank you. I just wanted to clarify that for this
Your
qualifier.
voice is not audible. Could you be a bit loud?
Yes, for the qualifier. Am I audible now?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. For the qualifiers, we'll be going one-on-one, and will like only one person be selected per like state after, or only like, or like there'll be a proper team, and will there be?
There will be. So I see that you are from Tanvi Khoshla, Heritage Gurgaon, correct? You
Yes.
come under Haryana. So in your case, there will be a team from your category from state Haryana. A team will have 3 to 4 debaters.
Okay, and then all of the debaters will go like together
Yeah, they
against
will.
different.
They become part of a team, and then the team matches will happen. So the round 2 and round 3 are team matches, 3 versus 3 debate. Okay. Sehejo, please go ahead.
Sir, I actually joined a little late, so is it possible that can you recap whatever was done in the last 5 to 7 minutes?
Not precisely. Look, you can watch the recordings because we are running short, and anyway, what we are covering is just cover the basics of Ogly and Ideal. So no worries. You please go ahead.
So hello, I just wanted to ask you how much time will we get to present our front? Because I joined late. I just wanted to ask this one question.
Okay, so we will cover the format for the round 1, but in the round 1, you will have 3-minute speeches.
Okay, that's fine. And when will you give us the format?
We will cover the
particular
format
date?
today in the session itself.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Manshika, please go ahead. Manshika. No, I can't hear Manchika. Rian, you want to go ahead? Yeah, you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I have 1 or 2 questions.
Go ahead.
My first one is, so in our teams of 3 or 4, do we choose the rest of our team if they're in the similar category?
Sorry, could you repeat?
So if there are if we want to choose our team of 2 or 3 people, do we choose or are we put with other people?
In the round one, you will do one-on-one, and there onwards you will do the qualifiers. I guess Natiksha ma'am is back, so she will take it from here.
Hello, yes, thank you for covering me. So, whose question are we picking first? Yog? Yog, is there a question? Or, okay, Rihan?
Yes, ma'am. So another question. I have actually 2 questions. My first Ma'am, so my first question is that when if when we're choosing our teams of 3 to 4 people, then can we choose people in our category, or do we just get put randomly in a team?
I think the team allocation is pretty random insofar as the organizing committee has the power to do that. I don't think you get to choose as such.
Okay, and ma'am, my second question is will we have to go anywhere abroad or out of state for any matches?
If you make it to the semis and the finals, you might have to come to Delhi if you're not already here, because that's where finals are supposed to happen and semis. So it all depends on how far in the debate you are able to sustain yourself. And so, like, first objective is qualifiers, which is online. And once you clear that, then it's a different story. Then you'll have to come to Delhi perhaps for the semifinals.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome. Manishka? Manishka, are we here? I mean, I see that you're unmuted, but I can't hear you. Is it just me or is it for everybody?
Me too.
Okay, you I'll take your question in that case.
No, ma'am, I got my question answered from
Okay, so
someone
whoever
else.
has their doesn't like whoever does not have a question, please lower your hand, just so I'm not confused. Okay, this says promotes iPhone. So whoever this person, I mean, is it your name? Can I call you that or just ask you a question regardless? Okay, what? How do you pronounce this name? Hiral Dubey. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it.
It's okay, no problem. It's Heron.
Oh, Harold. Okay.
Yeah. Actually, I had the question that the theme is superpower making, right? So it remains same in the qualifiers as well as semifinals, or it might change.
No, so all right. So the themes will change according to which round you are in, which means finals will deal with India on the globe, India in terms of its international relations, and semis is different. Semis is about possible pathways, so it's more about policy making and all of those things. And then qualifiers are about cultural reimagining. So different themes. I think what you should preoccupy yourself with right now, though, is cultural reimagining because that's what is relevant to everybody right now. Qualifier.
Okay. So cultural reimagining in the sector of like what basis? If you
I'll,
can just
okay, so this is
describe
something
it.
that you will be told in detail during the training that starts tomorrow.
Okay, no problem. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Goran?
Ma'am,
Yes,
so in
please.
the 1v1 matches, like we have 3 days to prepare, right? Is it the same in the finals and semis and in the qualifiers and for the national issues? Like, is it the same? Like, we get 3 days?
So again, it depends from category to category. If you're junior
I'm in the
category,
junior category.
yeah, you will be given time in the if you're in the junior category.
I'm even the same time in the finals.
Yeah. Swaraj?
Yes, ma'am, I have got the answer, sorry.
Yes, please.
Ma'am, I have got the answer, sorry.
Oh, you got the answer. So lower your hand. Gaurang, lower your hand. Mahima?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I was wondering if the round that are going to be held, they're going to be held online, or do we have to go somewhere?
So the qualifiers are going to be online, and if you are able to do really well in the qualifiers and make it to the semifinals, then the semifinals will happen offline and finals will also happen offline. But they will be back to back, like in 2 days, everything will be complete. So you will have to be in Delhi for those 2 days if you get selected for semifinals.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Aditya Jain.
Yeah, thank you. I was asking when would the motions when would the motions be released? And would it like be a spontaneous like a prompt debate?
No impromptu speech. Which class are we in?
10th.
Okay, in that case, you're the senior category. So you will get your motion like 24 hours before the debate starts.
All right, thank you.
Ruthvi, you're welcome. Ruthvi. Okay, Rian, I'm guessing there's another question. Wait
Yes,
for it.
ma'am.
Wait for it.
I have the
Let me
same
first.
question, except in terms of the 4 to 6th grade category.
Yeah, 4 to 6th grade category will get their motions 3 days before the tournament. So if the tournament starts on the 17th of October, you get your motion by the 14th of October.
Okay, cool.
All right, Kian.
Ma'am, if we make it into the semis, ma'am, will we get the same amount of time to prepare our speeches?
Yes, you will. That's okay. That's the question that I answered just like before the last one. So please be all ears when you're listening to other responses as well, so that we can save up on some time. Janisha, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it.
Yeah, right. So, actually, my half yearly exams are going on, and as the qualifiers start after October 17, my exams get over on 20th. So, is there any way that my like um, debate could be scheduled after 20?
Which class are you in?
11th.
Oh, okay. In that case, you will have to contact the Ogly number. They will be able to help you sort this.
All right. And another question I had was for the ISDS national selections. Earlier, the individual track applications used to happen in another way. But right now, like if, for example, my state wins the competition, do we get individually selected into the ISDS national selections, or is it team wise?
I think it's your track towards to the ISDS national selection on an individual basis. So whoever is unable to form a team, whoever doesn't know how to go about this, will have some facilitation from OGLY and ISDS collab. So it's more about individuals being put together into a compatible team.
All right. So if my team as a whole does not perform well, but like an
If you
individual.
do well, yeah. Okay, yes,
Yeah.
that's fair enough. Yeah, that can happen.
All right. Thank you.
Good job, Paul. Okay, you have really tough names, guys. I
Yes,
don't
you
know.
pronounced it right. You pronounced it
Okay,
right.
okay.
Okay, so I have a question. That is that okay? I'm in a boarding school, so by chance I do get selected for states. So would Ogly be able to notify or provide an email to the school for regarding our travel plans and everything? Because I don't think we as children would be able to give them much assurance. So
We
would
will
something
try to
like
help you with that. I think yes. I mean, if it's about shooting a mail to the school authorities, I don't think that should be a problem. We can coordinate with the parents and everything. I mean, that happens later, so you don't have to worry about it right now.
Okay, thank you. Thanks.
You're welcome. Tanvi?
Yes, so I was asking that first. Like, do we need to wear something specific?
Do we need to do what specific? I missed the.
Do we need to wear something specific?
Not really. No. There's no dress code.
Okay, and will we have like negative pointing if we read out of our script?
Well, most certainly, because you're being marked for manner. So if you're just going to read off a paper, it's going to reflect, and the judges aren't fools, so they'll be able to know if like you
Like,
have
can we use it for a reference?
references. Yeah. So you can have a paper by your side. This does not mean that you have to be these like you have to rote memorize speeches. That's not the idea. But the idea is for you to at least try to remember your own points, right? So reading it off a paper doesn't make sense because these are your points. You should be able to say that.
Okay.
But if you want to, like, if you think you'll forget some points, you can keep referring to the paper, but not stick to it. Like, don't cling to it.
Okay, and like because like our school knows and they only like provide us the link, but will you still be sending the mail to the school so that they know, because like my attendance is really low, so I won't be able to give my exam if I be absent.
Okay, maybe I think that'll be sort, if your school is coordinating with has coordinated with Ogly so far on Ideal, then maybe yeah, those mails are going to be sent. But then you can get more clarification on this question from the Ogly number, because they will be able to tell you better.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Ranch.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I actually had a question in that. Ma'am, how we will get to know that we are in the favor of the topic or in the against?
We will tell you that. So when we give you the motions, when we release the motions, we will also tell you which side you are supposed to debate from.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. All right. I think now we can move with the onward with the slides, and I'll take another round of questions after I've covered some of the slides. So now, what is the schedule like? The training was, I mean, this is one round of training, but the other round of training would be the one that you'll be having tomorrow onwards, which means today orientation gets over at 12th, and then you have 13 to 15 for your trainings, and then matches will start from 17th onwards, after which there will be the interstate matches, which is from 31st October to 2nd November, and then you have semis and finals on 13th and the 14th of November. This is what is offline. Everything else is online. Cool. So now, this is the structure of the tournament for maximum clarity. Registrations are happening till 12th October, qualifier 17th to 20th, the 30th, then semis, then finals, and you will have national debaters adjudicating you in the qualifiers, and then there'll be international debaters and final and like globally recognized adjudicators who will be there for you in the finals. As in, when you proceed, you'll have better adjudicators, as in like just more experienced adjudicators edging you. And then this is the round wise bifurcation of how things are going to be in terms of theme, the format, and what it has in store for you, each of the rounds. So the qualifiers are basically about the theme cultural reimagining. Now, culture is a very wide term which includes a lot of other sub themes, such as literature, such as even your movies, cinematic representations, all sources of influence are part of the culture, your beliefs, traditions, food, cuisine, everything. So, culture has a lot of aspects. On any of those aspects, you can expect a motion during the 3 rounds of the qualifier that you're supposed to debate through your way through to the semis. Now, debate format is very, very simple for qualifiers. It's just one-on-one, which means there are 2 debaters in a room with 1 adjudicator. The 2 debaters, of course, I mean, if there are 2 debaters and one is going to be for the motion, the other is going against the motion, the one who goes for the motion is going to deliver a 3-minute long speech, followed by a 3-minute long speech from the opposition member. And then there will be reply speeches in the same order: government first and opposition second. All the speeches are going to be 3 minutes long, but all of this I will also explain later in the PPT. So the recognition is, of course, that you get nationally recognized certificates from Ogly. You have 1 year Ogly app subscription and 3 months of membership to the Ogly Book Club. That's your perk. The perk by and large remains the same, except that you start getting feedback from globally recognized adjudicators if you went to go to the semis and finals. So there's better exposure and better uh, like feedback so that you can become better debaters. So of course, making it to the semis has its separate perks, but just getting to the qualifiers will also help you learn a lot. But in terms of the interstate matches, then the theme is going to be aspirational India, which just is about aspirational India is about setting the aspiration and trying to get to that aspiration through certain policy proposals. Like I said, right, one child policy. Do we want one child policy for population control? Do we have better alternatives? Those kind of motions will be discussed in this particular in this particular level of at this particular level of the tournament. And then debate format is also going to change, but I don't think I want to get into the debate format for finals and interstate matches right now, because the main focus is on the qualifiers. And all of this, once you get selected for semis, will be discussed later in the trainings that will be held separately for the people who make it to the semis. So just concern yourself with this portion of the slide right now, because this is about the qualifiers and this is what is most relevant. This we will clear later when we like cross the bridge when we come to it. Any questions about the format as such for the qualifiers? Okay, Sushmita?
I have a question. It's not related to this, but
No, Dhruv, you wait for the recognition and then you unmute yourself. So I recognize Sushmita first and then you may go.
I actually had a couple of questions, some from even before the session. Is it okay if I ask all of them?
Yeah, but one by one, just so I don't forget
Yeah,
them.
okay. So I'm in the 7th to 9th category. I'm in 9th grade. So how many days before the competition will we be getting any details about it?
I think you'll get it like on the eve of the tournament. So like 20, like a day's time, if you consider the night as well. So like 24 hours basically.
And also the overarching, not like now that we know the theme for the team selections, it's cultural reimagining. So are we going to go with the regular debating format, which is either for or against? Is cultural reimagining a good thing or a bad thing? Or is there any other way we're going about this? And
Okay,
will
so
we
cultural reimagining is a
by
theme, which means
like
which
will we, sorry, once
yeah, I'll just respond to that question and then I'll take the other one. So, cultural reimagining is this broader theme within which you will have a lot of other aspects like Indian education, can it be made better? Indian family structures, can that be made better? The motions will be on the basis of what culture entails and not culture at large, if it's good or bad. So, aspects of Indian culture, and then you debate on them. So, the motions are going to be designed according to what the cultural practices and beliefs are, but it's not, of course, going to be as simple as culture, broadly speaking.
right. And will we be given whatever side we're representing before the
You will be
competition?
given your stance.
We
Yes,
will,
yes,
right?
yes.
Okay. So for the like for this qualifiers, it's gonna be online, right?
Qualifiers are online, right?
Okay. Yeah, that's it. Oh yeah, when are the qualifiers actually?
They start from 17th of October.
Okay, got it. So like what do you mean by they start from 17th of October? Because in the middle, for like 2 days from 21st to 22nd, I have an MUN coming up, so I don't know
Fair
how
enough. Okay, so they're going to go for a little while, right? Because every student is supposed to go through 3 rounds within the qualifiers, which means you will be given your respective days on which you are supposed to debate. So you can again contact the Ogly number and see if the dates can be fixed according to your requirements or prior commitments.
Okay, thank you so much. That's it.
You're welcome. Okay, wait. Dhruv has had multiple chances to get his doubts clarified, so I'm going to recognize people who are getting them cleared for the first time. Sajo and Tanvi, and then Dhruv.
It's Sergio. So I'm in
I'm
a
sorry.
yeah. Okay. So I'm in a senior division. I actually have a couple of questions. So I actually joined a little late, so I'm quite clueless about what we actually have to do. So the first thing is I quite didn't understand the theme.
The theme is going to be discussed again in the training, so you can let that be for now. What else?
Like will there be like study material if we have debate topics, will we be having like study material so we can read and we can like get to know
Okay.
the
Yeah, there are
topic?
various ways of how we're going about this. One, if you go check Indian Debating League's Instagram page, you will see that there are a lot of posts that are being put up, which are knowledge posts on Indian agriculture and economy, on how to reclaim culture, this, that, which means we are already putting up a lot of relevant material wherein you will have topics which you can research about. So this is just your headway to find how to go about researching the within the theme. So go like on that particular Instagram page to just find your way through the research part of it. But secondly, when I'm taking the training sessions, I will also explain how to research, which sites to visit, which topics or subtopics to research on in order to be in a comfortable position when you're given your motions. So all of that again is a part of trainings and not necessarily orientation.
Also, my last question was that I'm not sure, like, will we have to actually go somewhere?
Okay, so for the qualifiers, no, qualifiers are online, and if you make it to the semifinals and the finals, you will have to come to Delhi if you're not already here.
Okay, I'm already in Delhi, so okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so Tanvi.
Sorry. So I was asking that what if we don't, like, if I get against the topic and if I'm not agreeing and if I don't feel that I can speak for this, because I think that the
Because your personal views conflict with what you're supposed to
yes.
do. Okay. So, all right, this is very important for everybody to listen to and like be all ears about. It's not, I mean, debating is all about putting yourself in an uncomfortable position and learning how to see things differently from how you view it in general. So if I give you a motion and tell you to debate from the side you are comfortable debating from, I bet you will be able to do that because you have some strong opinion about it. But that's the purpose of the debate. So if you can't find constructives, even better, you try harder because that's the objective of a debate, for you to be supple thinkers who can think from all dimensions and not necessarily one.
Okay, and you said that there'll be three rounds for the qualifiers. So will there be different topics for each round?
Different topics, yes, different motions. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Other questions? Dhruv, you're supposed to ask the next question, yes?
Yes, ma'am. For the, like, will we have practice debates between ourselves in the practice sessions?
Practice debates, we'll see about that. So it's not necessarily practice debates because there's so many of you, so we can't possibly get everybody to debate in for like sparring. But what we can do is like we collectively case prep. So we divide ourselves into big teams, divide all the people who have joined into teams, and then throw arguments around to see who wins and who doesn't.
And will we run the structure of the debate as like we do this first, then this? So like.
Yeah, everything. I mean, we are going to so the training is going to be comprehensive, and you're definitely going to learn about the structure, how to frame speeches, what to do, what not to do, do's and don'ts, everything.
Okay.
You can just keep unmuting yourself and asking me questions, but not at the same time, please.
Yes, hi. Two questions from me. This is Ria. I just wanted to know, since I came in late, you said you will send us the topic when?
Which class are you in?
I am in the fifth grade.
Okay, so if you're in the fifth grade, you will get the topic 3 days before the tournament, the first round, which means if your first round happens on the 17th, you will get the debate topic on the 14th of October.
Okay, so I won't know when my first round will be also?
You will know about that. You will be duly informed about when your round is, and then accordingly, you will also be given your motion and which side you're supposed to debate from.
Okay, and will I be also told who my opponent is?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so that mail that I'll get on the 14th, supposing I'm debating on the 17th, the mail I get on the 14th will tell me whom I'm debating with and what my topic is and whether I'm for or against, right?
That's right.
And then I go to the Insta page and then I research on that topic. And how long should the speech be?
3 minutes long.
3 minutes. All right. Okay. And what is your Insta page handle?
Indian Debating League and Ogly also. So I think the knowledge posts are accessible there.
All right. Great. And it's a 3-minute speech. And so again, at what time will the debates be held? Just to plan. So if supposing I'm on the 17th, usually the debates are held morning, afternoon, evening.
Not in the, okay, so we keep in mind that people have school, so it only starts from 4 p.m. onwards.
All right, all right. And will I know exact what time, or it'll be like a 4 to 7 and my turn can come at any point of time?
Yeah, it's going to be like that till the time you actually get the allocation. So allocations will happen by the 14th of October. But until then, yes, it's a broad frame between 4:30 to 9:30.
Yeah.
Oh,
And on
understood.
14th, you will
Hi.
receive the precise time that your match is
Yeah,
at
yeah.
4:30 or 4:45.
So I have a question around the younger age group, which is grades 4 to 6. You mentioned that the topics will be given 3 days in advance, so which is 14th of October. You also mentioned that there will be 3 rounds for qualifiers. So when do they get the second and the third topic, or how does that work?
3 days before every round, which means we will be able to accommodate
Okay.
so you will get 3 days before every round. That's for sure. If you're in the junior category.
Okay, but the qualifiers, the slide that you mentioned showed 17th to 20th October. So that's just for the first round of qualifiers. So there'll be more qualifiers after 20th October.
Yeah, definitely. So it's a broader
Okay.
window, yeah.
But then, there's also Diwali around that time. So I'm assuming that you would have factored in that you don't put it on those
Yeah,
days
we did.
because it's big in Delhi. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, a lot of hands, but okay, unmute yourself one by one. Let's see.
So I wanted to ask that if we are in the opposition side during the qualifiers, and if we rebut in our speech, but then we also have a reply speech. So can
Okay,
we?
Tanuj, I can tell that this is a question that you should ask during the training. So I will be covering all of this in the training. Don't worry about this.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Zohan.
Yes, ma'am. My question was that would we have to mention our school in our speech?
Not necessarily. You don't have to. Gia.
Yeah, my question was related to the time frames. Is it possible for us to request a specific time frame because I only reach back at about 5:30 from my school? So would that be possible?
So if there are any special accommodation that you need, then you will have to contact the Ogly number. But otherwise, it's going to be from 4:30 onwards.
Sure.
9:30.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mir, yeah.
Yeah, ma'am, my question is that you said that there will be 3 rounds for the qualifiers, but are they going held together or they are going to be held separately?
Separately.
Okay, ma'am, thank you.
Okay. Ruthvi? Do we have a question? Did we forget to lower our hands from last time? Please lower your hands if you have already asked a question and you don't want aren't looking for any responses. Yug?
Yes, ma'am. Hello. I just wanted to ask a small question that will we have to win all the 3 rounds of the qualifier to proceed in the final in the semi-final stage?
See, a lot depends on your speaks, as in what the score that you're getting. So a lot of people will also win all the 3 rounds, and then the competition reduces to who scored well, despite winning all 3 rounds. Then the next criteria of determination becomes who scored well, right? So it's a different. I mean, it's not about winning or losing all rounds or like none of the rounds. It's more about the speaks, which you will get to know about only when the results are declared after the qualifiers.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, keep unmuting yourself, please, and ask me questions.
Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am, is our point of information allowed in this?
Could you please come again?
Ma'am, are points of information allowed?
Points of information are not allowed in this format. So no, you will have a reply speech. That's where you can raise your questions and also respond to them and why you think these are relevant questions to ask.
Okay, ma'am.
Can we ask for feedback after one round?
I think during the qualifiers, there is no concept of an oral adjudication of feedback. So the adjudicators will mark you fairly. That's something that we can assure from our side because we will have them fill a Google form there where they have to explain why they let one person win over the other. But that cannot be shared during the qualifiers with you because there's a lot of rounds happening. And it's not like feasible, keeping in mind the time constraint for adjudicators to deliver OAs.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome. Yes, more questions.
Doubt of ma'am, is there gonna be any specific like information that when is gonna be at what location in the semi-finals in Delhi, in what location the rounds are and what time?
Okay, you will be told about the specific details about where it is, what the venue, date, and time is, or after the qualifiers, but you will have a lot of time to prepare. So you see, you have almost like 10 days to prepare because see, 13th, 14th is when your semis and finals are. So you will have a lot of time to sort those things out about how, when to travel to Delhi, when to get travel back from Delhi. All of those things can be sorted later once you qualify.
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, can I?
Yes, please.
Yeah, so can we will we like all be participating in all the forms, like all the 3 times in the
Yes,
qualifiers?
everybody will have 3 rounds to participate in and prove the medal during the
Okay.
qualifier.
And like will you show an example debates through the format in like the training session?
Not necessarily, but I will help you understand the format through and through, so there will be no doubts.
Okay, and we can include our personal point, right? Personal perspective.
With reasoning, but that's again something that we will keep aside for the trainings. I'll explain that, how to go about this.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Other questions?
Can I ask?
Yes.
So my first question is, are the training sessions starting from tomorrow?
Yes, they are.
And yeah, what 5 to 6?
5 to, 5 to 6. And 6 to 7 as well, but 5 to 6 for the junior category.
And will we be getting like participating certificates?
Yes, you will.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Questions? Keep them coming.
Ma'am, can I?
Yes, please.
Ma'am, I wanted to ask about the speaker role. So I think that in the first round, there's just like one-on-one speaker.
Okay, speaker roles is a discussion for the trainings again. So now I'm going to ask me questions about things that I've already explained, because trainings, I will cover everything in trainings, everything you're talking about in terms of format, in terms of how to deliver an effective speech, in terms of how to rebut, all of that. So training is very, very comprehensive. All of your questions will be answered. But do you have any doubts with respect to what we discussed just now?
Ma'am, for the grade 6 to 9,
Yeah.
will we get like 1 or 2? Will we get like 2 days before the slot?
A day before, for 7 to 9, yes, you will have 24 hours, approximately that much time.
Okay. And ma'am, like, will we get like if we just win, then only we'll get medals, right? Or otherwise, if we go to semifinals, then we'll get like a prize.
You will have participation certificates. If you win, you will have certificates of accomplishment. I think that's how it works.
Okay.
Okay. Other questions? Keep asking.
Ma'am, as you said, training sessions are going from tomorrow. So how are we gonna join the training sessions?
I mean, there'll be a link that'll be shared with you. Everything will be shared with you. You can join through those credentials.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, ma'am, I have a query.
Yes, please.
Ma'am, so will heckling be allowed?
Not really. No, no heckling will be allowed. I mean, I don't think any debate tournament will allow you to heckle other people. It has to be a respectful style of conducting yourself. Also, there's strict ethics that are to be followed in the debate room. No disrespect. Okay. Who
Ma'am,
else?
will we be actually having the training sessions right after this meeting as well?
Soon after this meeting?
Yeah, just like a question.
Not really, no.
Okay, so they're gonna start from tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, please.
Ma'am, if we miss some session, we will get the recordings too?
You will have access to recordings, yes.
And ma'am, we will get the codes when we are introducing ourselves in the debate.
Will you get a what?
We will get the code.
You won't get a code, but the adjudicators will already know who is debating in their room. So you don't have to introduce yourself as such.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Welcome. Okay, now allow me to complete this particular, a couple of things, just in case your doubts are about these things, and then I'll take the doubts towards the end once we're concluding. You can lower your hands for now. So how will debating at Ideal help you? One, you have the opportunity to represent your state and country and be the spokesperson for your respective states for this particular, at least for the sake of this particular tournament. And then you will have training by experienced coaches who've been debating for years now. And you will also be adjudicated by really experienced and seasoned debaters who will help you get through the process of course correction. And then there you will have a wildcard entry in Howard Invitational if you end up doing really well and you will be duly recognized for it. You will also have a special invite to, you will be specially invited to spectate the finals and the semi-finals in Delhi. Even if you don't make it, you are free to come as spectators and enjoy the process and give it a nice closure. All right. So now I think this is one of the most important things that you need to understand for the sake of the qualifiers. This is the format wherein the first participant simply refers to, I'm referring to the picture here or the diagram. The first participant is for the motion person and second participant is the one who's going against the motion. So the first participant delivers the first speech in the debate of 3 minutes duration, and then this is followed by a similar speech, but from the opposition side, again 3 minutes long. And once both the initial speeches are over, we move on to the replies, and the replies also start from the government or the proposition side, which is for the motion. And the last reply speech and also the concluding speech of the debate round is given by the opposition side, again 3 minutes. So the time duration is pretty simple and straightforward. Everything that you do is for 3 minutes, be it the initial speech or the reply speech. But the purpose of each of like these speeches is different in terms of what reply speech does and how it's different from the initial speech. But that's something we are going to cover in the training session. So not something that you should focus a lot on right now. That's pretty much it from my end. And now we can continue with the string of questions. Just keep unmuting yourself, but please don't cut each other out. Respectfully unmute, ask a question, mute.
Ma'am,
Yes, please.
ma'am, so my question is, what is the venue for the finals?
The
Like
venue
in
for the
Delhi?
finals for one last time. Okay, no, specific venue is not yet released, so it'll be released later. I really don't think you should be asking me questions about semis and finals right now, people, because it's better if we have just a second. Also, don't direct message me because it leads to divided attention. Just unmute and ask me questions. Okay, so you don't have to ask me questions on semis and finals, especially on the venue, etc. Because everything will be you will be informed about in due time. So let things take their course and don't think about too far ahead. Just talk about the qualifiers for now, right? Let's have questions on qualifiers then. Tanvi?
Okay, ma'am. So, like, for the questions and for the reply questions, will the students only be asking from each other, or the judges can also
Judges
ask?
will not interfere.
Okay, and can we like ask for the script or like for their points to be repeated, or
Not
so that
really.
we
You have
can
to be
ask?
careful, listeners, while they're delivering the speech. They're going to do it only once. You have to
Okay,
jot it down in that time.
okay.
Okay. Ria?
Yeah. If you can't attend the training sessions tomorrow, will there be a recording?
There will be recordings, but training sessions are always better to attend
And
because
where will we find them?
YouTube channel, Ogly.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Sushmita?
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't unmute myself for a second. So when the person finishes their speech, will we get a few moments to sort of make our sum up all our points and everything and
Fair, yes.
conclude?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You will get around, you can ask for 30, 40 seconds if you want in order to gather your thoughts and give an impromptu reply speech.
And
That's reasonable.
will we be having a rapid fire round?
Not really. Only that
So how will it work?
segments that I talked about.
Okay, so you're just gonna say your speeches and that's it?
No, you are going to say your speeches followed by your reply speeches. So that's two segments
Oh,
to the
okay.
format. Yeah.
So when and how do you write your reply speeches? Not how, but when do you get time to write
I
them?
think depends, right? It's going to be mostly impromptu, but during the trainings, I will make the process easier for you because there are certain questions that you are supposed to answer in your reply speech. So you can pretty much do it impromptu once you have the structure with you, which I'm going to share
Got
during
it.
the trainings.
Got it. So the training sessions are gonna be from the 13th to the 15th, and we're gonna be mailed like all the links and everything on our email, right?
Precisely, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Uh, Tanvi, lower your hand.
Excuse me, may I please?
Yes, please.
Yeah, so my doubts are cleared. I don't have any more doubts. So can I leave the orientations
Yeah, yeah. Whoever does not
session?
have any more doubts, you can please exit the meeting. Thank you for joining.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Rutvi, can I have your question?
Ma'am, my doubts are also cleared now. Can
So lower your
I leave?
hands. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sure. Whoever's doubt is cleared, lower your hands. You don't have to ask for permission. Just leave if you do not have any more questions. It's fair for you to. It's an hour. I have informed everybody about whatever I had to. Now it's all about the question. Dhruv.
Can I ask?
Yes, you ask.
I have one last question. Can you elaborate a little bit more on the format? You said heckling isn't allowed. What all else is not allowed?
Okay, so heckling, okay, I don't understand. Heckling is disrespectful behavior, which won't be allowed anywhere. So it's not just about debates. As debaters, you're not supposed to be like extremely and unreasonably loud or like show the other person that they are not worthy or some such thing. You just debate for 3 minutes and then you respond for 3 minutes and you do it with civility. And that's it. Whoever has better points wins, but there's really no need to be like at logger's head with the other with your opposition.
So is it kind of like Oxford style?
I think that will be confusing for a lot of people who don't understand the Oxford style. Can we just say that there are 3 minute long initial speeches followed by reply speeches? Because this is really not like pertinent to any other style of debating.
Okay.
All right. Kia, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. So just a slightly out of context question. I was wondering about the head count for the total registrations we've had and the amount of competitors we'd be having on a per state basis.
There's quite a lot of people who are participating, is beyond 100 the number. So there's a lot of competition and then it'll boil down like how it has to. So, and the
So on a per
registrations are
state
still
basis, it will be.
registrations closed only
Yeah,
today,
yeah, yeah.
so the accurate number is still.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Tanvi?
Yes, ma'am, I had just one final doubt that if we don't have a question regarding their speech, then will we have negative marking for it?
No, you're not supposed to ask a question anyway.
Okay.
Okay, Gia?
Just a doubt regarding like heckling and stuff, but is mild sarcasm allowed?
Maybe, but okay, here's the thing. If you want to be rhetorical and if you want to, I mean, just like acting and playing smart wouldn't win you the debate. So
Yeah,
we
yeah.
could refrain from it because there
Sure.
are also juniors in the debate. So equity has to be maintained and it has to
Yeah.
be self-regulation. No equity committee as such.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Another thing we ask question is like, do you, the government side of the motion, really think that dash dash dash?
No, the motion is framed differently, I will tell you how a motion is framed. It always starts from this house. And then it's this house believes that this should happen, this house regrets something, this house
No, ma'am.
supports
No,
something.
ma'am. I'm not saying how the motion will be. In our speech, can we say, do you, the opposition side of the motion, really believe that dash dash dash? I'm like, can we
Yeah,
ask
I mean, you could ask rhetorical questions for sure if you are leading to something. Because sometimes in in debates, what you end up doing is that you just end up like throwing around rhetorical arguments like, oh, do you think this can happen? How could you think this could happen? I mean, that really doesn't make sense. So if there's a question, it has to lead to something. It's not like it is a question which is up in the air.
Okay.
Yeah. Athar?
So, ma'am, will be provided with our training links on WhatsApp or on mail?
You can be on the lookout for the joining credentials on the WhatsApp groups. That's where you will receive them.
Okay, ma'am. And ma'am, one of my friends wanted to join, so are the registration closed?
So today was the last day of registration, but you can contact the Ogly number. They'll be able to tell you better.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Dhruv? Dhruv, are we here? I don't think so. All right. In this case, I'll see you all tomorrow for the trainings. Please do join. There's a lot you can learn from the trainings and use while debating through the tournament. Thank you for joining. See you tomorrow. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night, miss.